Hey folks, Dr. Payne here from Dr. Payne Effects. And today I want to do a short little review, but instead of doing a pedal, I'm reviewing the Gunstreet wiring company's wiring harness for the Supersonic. Now, this one's different than any other wiring harness they have on there. They have a lot of, your typical wiring harnesses, but with better pots, basically if you want to just upgrade whatever you have. But this thing's unique because it adds a ton of different features that the original Supersonic didn't have. So let's dive straight into it. So one of the first things you'll probably notice is that has a nice arcade style kill switch, and you can select from a whole bunch of different colors what you want it to be. This is the one thing that requires you to do some routing on the pick guard. It does require a much bigger hole than the typical three-way selector switch. So in addition to the kill switch, not only do you get that, but we have a 500K volume pot here, but it is push-pull. So we've got humbuckers and we've got single coils. Now on top of that, we have this final switch back here, which is a 5-way selector switch. And it has basically 5 different configurations of the pickups. So down here in position 1, it's just doing the bridge pickup. Now middle and bridge. And neck. Now there are 2 additional settings. One is probably my favorite setting, and this puts the 2 pickups in series instead of parallel, so the pickups are running into each other rather than both sending signal out, basically in stereo. So here's what that sounds like. Here it is in series, in parallel and in series. Really all it does is add a little bit of extra harmonics. I think it probably makes more of a difference with fuzz than anything. And then the final one, you actually get to select between the choice of a low pass or a high pass filter. And I went with a high pass filter just because, as you know me, I hate Telecasters, but sometimes I really like Telecasters. But probably will never buy another one. So, get a little bit of that twanginess, especially when we're in single coil mode. But yeah, so that's it. So let's just hear a little bit about what it sounds like with fuzz. I am using my MA8 Fuzz Lab, which I don't think I've demoed yet. It's pretty awesome. So you're gonna have, that's basically what it looks like. It is essentially a Devi Ever Super Shoegazer, but with 10 billion switches and a bunch of extra knobs, including the ability to just synth out and be a really cool, just kind of drone machine. So anyways, here's what that sounds like. I'll play you out. dead silent, man. That's crazy. Yeah, this button is the quietest button I've ever done. I've got an arcade style button on my Jazzmaster, and it's not as quiet as this thing. And this thing's apparently rated for like 5 million pushes or whatever. So, you know, hopefully it won't break for a long time, but it would be super easy to replace. So the caveats to this, this particular wiring harness for the Supersonic, I would probably rate moderate to advanced difficulty in terms of the actual build. It took me probably about 30 minutes from start to finish, including, you know, taking strings off, putting strings back on, and, you know, drilling the extra space for the arcade button, which you also need the tools to do, and then the actual soldering. Now, the soldering, there are 10 different wires that need to be soldered, really 11 because of the grounding wire that goes to the bridge here. And so it ends up being a lot of soldering, I guess 13, lucky number 13 because of the kill switch. So probably 13 individual solders, and some of them are pretty tight, way tighter than what you would have on your standard 3-way switch or something like that, especially with the 5-way rotary switch, where you've got two different rows of places to solder wiring. It can just get pretty complicated. So I would recommend, if you are not familiar with soldering or you haven't built a guitar from scratch, if you do get this, take it to your luthier. I'm sure they'd be happy to install it for you. Very, very simple install overall. And then I guess the other thing I would say is that they have a bunch of other stuff too, including solderless kits. They've got pick guards that are already pre-wired. So if you want to upgrade your guitar, check out Gunstreet. I give this particular mod 2 thumbs up. All right, take care.